Hey there. So today what I want to do is I'm going to share with you a resource that is incredibly easy to use and free and lets you make your own trees for your own games. So it exports to multiple formats, but it does allow you to use it pretty much in any engine you want. And it's basically just a web interface. So I'm going to switch over now to my main screen here, and what you're going to see is I've got this window open, and it is www.eztree.dev. And so at this site you can zoom in, zoom out, it gives you can adjust the ground or whatever, that's all generated, but this is the tree that's in front of me right now. So I've already exported it and brought it into Godot to show you what that looks like. But I'm going to make a coniferous tree now, so that's a deciduous tree. So I'm going to make a new project here by clicking on parameters. Don't need it to be an ash tree. I'm going to make it a medium pine tree. Then here you can adjust the seed, so I can zoom in on this so we can see what it looks like. So you can rotate, hold the left mouse down and rotate. Scroll wheel zooms in and out, and you can get a good idea of what's going on. So environment, I think I don't want any grass, I just want plain ground. Sun angle's fine, I'm going to leave it like that. Of course, the lighting's going to look different depending on which game engine you have it in. So you can adjust that to match if you want, or I just leave it stock, and it's more for adjusting in-game engine, my lighting environment, etc., etc. And I'll give you a quick show of that in Godot. So basically what I did in Godot to get ready for this, I'll just pull up Godot here. So basically what I did was I just created a new 3D scene, added a camera in there, pulled the camera distance away, and with the new Godot engine, it's really easy to see that live as you're moving it around. So if I wanted to move this, I'll select my camera 3D, and I can select my move. I can zoom in and zoom out appropriately. And you can see that directly reflected in the viewport. Alright, I'll zoom right back in again, right close up to the leaves. You can see the bark pattern there. Zoom back out again. Alright. So that's the camera. I did create a world environment, and I set the lighting in the world environment. And where you can adjust that is you can adjust your color here. If you want it to be a little bit, maybe I want it to be a little bit more bluish. There we go. A little more blue, a little more nitrogen in the old atmosphere there. And I'll click on my camera again. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. Okay. You can also go back to your world environment. You can also change your lights and your colors. How much the sky contributes. So what this is how much whatever you've got in your background contributes. So if I turn this up, it's going to get darker because I've just got a dark sky. And lighten it, lightens right up. So I'm going to just go around. 4 is fine for me. Click back on the camera, see how that looks. Yeah, that looks fine. Okay. The other thing you can do is you can actually turn up or down the energy. I'll turn the energy of the light up just a little bit. Come back over to the camera. There we go. A little more light hitting the ground, and a little more, I got a little bit of bleed through from the sky. I think I want to turn that up just a bit more. So I'm going to go into world environment, sky contribution. I think I'm going to bring that up to 5. There we go. Perfect. And then the energy from 35, 52, sure, that'll work. That looks good. And just wanted to show you how that worked. So the next thing I did was I put down a CSG box. So it's just this box here, basically a rectangle, just computer generated shape. It's like a cube I stretched, turned it into kind of a ground. You could also set up terrain, you could set up a plane map, whatever. I just set up a box and I matched, and I added the, in my textures folder, I just have this ground texture. I've got a roughness, a normal, a height map, and a color. And where you do that is you just do that on the material So I'm just going to turn on, I'm just going to make sure to select that CG box, turn off the height, scroll up here, created a material. Then from that material, I just opened up albedo, dragged my color into albedo, dragged my roughness into my roughness, my normal. You have to check the box to turn on normal map, so I checked the box. Then I was able to drag my normal map over, and then I also had a height map. You have to check the box for it as well, and then I just added that again. So then with those added, I wanted to make sure that the texture was scaled. So here I've got it scaled to 4. I'm going to scale it back to 1. I've got them all linked just so you can see how that looks. And I'm going to go back to camera, and you can see it's a bigger, rougher ground, and you can adjust that accordingly. Come back here. I had it set to 4, but I think I'll set it to 2.5. And I think that'll look good. It'll look like there's some rock sticking out, etc., etc. Back to camera view. There we go. So now that we've got that done, I'm just going to save my scene. Save all scenes. Now I'm going to minimize that, and we're back here to this editor. So I've got this tree. I can come in here. I can change how my bark looks. I can change the tint of it a bit. What if I don't like that brown? Say I don't want it to be a pine tree and I want it to be a spruce tree. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to come over here a bit. Maybe I'll add a little bit of purple. You can see how that changed. Let's just zoom in a bit more. So it looks a little bit red right now. Let's just change that a little lighter. If I go all the way to white, you can see it's kind of a brownie, but I want a little bit of purple. There, that's good. We'll make that, that's our spruce tree right there. We can adjust the seed. I'll do that just to show you what it looks like. Makes all sorts of different trees as you move along. Move back to here. I'll leave it there. That looks pretty good. Now then, I got the grass count and stuff off. Don't need that. I want to open up info because you want to see how many vertices and triangles you have. Because the vertices and triangles are going to determine how hard this is on your computer to render. So when you bring it into the game and you've got a whole bunch of these instantiated, how much is that going to be hard on the CPU? So basically what I've done is it's 26,100 vertices, 19,000 triangles. I can actually lower that count down a bit. Now where was that? In the branches and the leaves. So if I open up the branches, I got 1 level of branches. If you add more on a coniferous tree, you don't really need more. I'm going to go move that up though to 2, and you can see how it changes. 1, 0 just leaves me with a root pole. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3 does something weird. I'm not sure what that's all about. But 2 gives you a pretty full, scraggy looking tree. 1 is good. Now, where that makes more of a difference is in your deciduous tree. Because of the way that the leaves are drawn in, it'll give you more there. So I've selected evergreen. You can change that to evergreen deciduous for what type of branches you want. I'll just do that so you can see. Okay, that's a weird looking tree, right? Now, if you're going to make that like an alien tree or something with some alien growth on it, that would kind of be a neat idea. But you can also change the angle. So it's at 110. If we lower this down, you can see that they grow up in the sky now, straight up, more like a bush or a juniper. And if I lower them way down, more like a cedar tree or a redwood tree. And we can go somewhere like there. We'll leave it like that. That looks pretty good. Then you got 3 angles of doing that. I don't think it makes much of a difference on the conifers because we only have one angle, one level of branch, so I'm not that worried about it. So we're just gonna leave that alone. 3 again doesn't really change much. We're gonna leave that alone. But if you had multiple levels up here, that's where these would come in handy. So we can close that down. Levels fine. Children. You can adjust how many children spawn off. So I've got 82. If I bring that down here to 75, it doesn't do much difference on how the tree looks. But if I come down here now, look at this number. 23 and 17. Now if I bring that down again, where was I? I was in, I think I was in children. No. And come into sections. So I've got 12 and 10. I can lower this one down from 12 to 9. I can lower that one from 10 to 9. This one's 8. I'm going to lower that to 7. And this one's 6. I'm going to drop that all the way off so you can see what it does. Down to 1. Didn't seem to do much, did it? Leave it at 4. This 23 hasn't really changed any. We got 8 segments. 7. 5 segments. Still at 23. Leaves. So we got pine leaves, double-sided billboard. We can change the tint on those. So instead of being so greenish, pineish, I can make it a little bit darker. There we go. It's a little more sprucey there. Angle count. So I've got angle of 39. I can change those. And around. Yeah, we'll go around 42. Count. Bring it all the way down. So it's a dead tree. Bring it all the way up to be super bushy. Kind of like I looked at a foxglove pine. But I'm going to bring it down to about 20. We'll leave that at 20. I believe this start and stop is where you put them on the tree. Like where they, yeah. So if I move it up, they're way more towards the tip, which you do for like a deciduous tree. Here, they're way more at the stalk. So I want to out on the branches a little bit. Sure. And then I want them a little bigger. There we go. And I can make the size variance a bit bigger. Just to add some variety. And now you can see I dropped from 23 to 17 and down to 14,000. So you could really play around with that more. Like if I want to go in and really bring that down. Where's my leaves? I just closed it off. Where did I go? Oh, branches. I'm still on branches. Okay. Leaves right here. I closed it off. So I can bring that down more. So from a count of 20, because I've made them bigger, I can bring that down to like a count of 15. We'll bring it down to 14. And now you can see, let's drop that even more. That's down to 13 and to 12 now. So from 14 to 12, and from, what was it, what did I say, 14 or 16 or 15, I think it was, down to 13. So you could do a lot to play around with this. Now you still need to make sure that your tree looks half decent. And this one looks okay. It's a bit of a scraggly tree. but I could probably just adjust my my branches now. Kind of move them up a bit, I think. If I go start, and then I'm just moving them up the tree a bit more. You can go all the way up, so he's got a bushy top, all the way down so you're underground, but I think right about there is going to be good. Perfect. So I think that that is going to be a decent tree. I mean, it's not great. I would spend more time making it, but I mean, that'll work in our world. In our world. Unfortunately, there is no roots in these trees, so if you need root trees, you're gonna have to build them through Treat or something else. However, I could do a lot of population in my world with that now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna now click on this Import Export tab because I think I'm pretty good. I don't have an account to save a preset or anything or to go back to it, so I'm not worried about that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just export this as a GLB. And there it is, tree 1. But what I also want to do, I'm not going to use it and demonstrate it, but I'm going to also export it as a PNG. Now I'm going to open that PNG. Oh, it wants to open it, coulda. So I won't do that. Oh, too late, already did. And there it is as an alpha level. So what this can be used for is if you bring in and set up level of detail, so like in Terrain 3D or in TerraGen, you've got the ability to set up level of details for your trees. And what you can do is you can use this tree as a billboard tree. Also, if you're going to work in 2D, you can now use this as a 2D billboard tree. So you've just created an option without having to do a whole bunch of Photoshop work. You might still want to touch it up or whatever, but you've now created an option for a level of detail or a 2D tree. So I'm going to close that because I'm not actually going to use it. Well, you know what? I'll bring it in. Sure. So I'm done with this browser now because it's I'm going to refresh this. And I'm just going to drag this off screen because I want to open up my Godot here. And so now what I want to do is I'm going to bring this tree 2D image in. Actually, hold on. Before I do that, I'm just going to close off my textures for this deciduous tree, and I'm going to just drop everything into top folder just for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to bring in that 2D tree now, and I'm going to show you, and I'm also going to bring in this tree 1, and it's going to import all those assets for the tree and set it up as a new 3D scene, and it just finished doing that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that in. Why am I not? Oh, it automatically put it in the this folder. Okay, so bring that in. Bang. Now we're just going to move it. It actually puts it in a bit of a funky spot for me. There we go. And I'll bring it forward a bit more here, in line with the deciduous tree. Zoom in. And there we go. And we'll just bring it over here. All right, and now we just run the project. And there we go. We've got a tree. Now I have no navigation enabled on here or anything, but you can see the tree, how easy it is to bring a tree into the scene. And then of course if I wanted to scale that, make it bigger, do whatever, I could. However, I just want to show you the bark in it. And there's the bark. It's kept that tint and hue that we created and has brought it in pretty much textbook perfect. So we have our tree, and the light's hitting the branches a little bit, the universal light, but you can see it's decent quality, and it's in the game level. So now I'm going to show you just quickly add a 3D object, and it's under node 3D, and I want rigid body 3D, character body 3D, animated sprite 3D. I just want a sprite 3D. That's all I want. So I'm just going to create a sprite 3D, add it to that scene, select it, and now, did I have that tree image in here? I believe this is it. Grab that texture, drop it in. Now I'm going to move this up. I'm not sure that was actually the... No, this is what I want. That's better. Zoom in a little bit here. I'm going to scale that up. Oh, that's not actually what I want. That's just a branch. Okay. For some reason... No, I don't want to open that. Sorry, opened up Krita. Just need to rename this because I think it's sharing the name of a of another file. Rename tree billboard. All right, now I'll bring that in. Close my texture folder. Select my resource folder. And just drag this all the way in here. There we go, tree billboard. So now I'm going to take that and assign that to that texture. There we go, that's what I want. Now I need to scale that up. And I'll move that. And you can see the colors are slightly off because it is, I didn't color match my, and we're going to scale that up a little bit more. I did not color match to, that's about right, perfect. Okay. In the lighting, I didn't set the lighting the same as the, there we go. But you can see that I now have a billboard image. Although it's not in billboard mode, what I need to do is come into here, and there is an option somewhere in here to set it in billboard mode. I can also modulate the color here a bit, and I can just a little bit on the it's not great there, but a little closer to the color of the original tree. You'd put time in. I don't want to put a lot of time into that, but you could put some time into that. Let's just try to go there. Okay, but that's a bit light, and then we'll bring that up. Somewhere around there would be good for a level of detail, but you get the idea anyway, so you can adjust those things. I'm going to turn it off. Bring it down just a little bit. There, that'll do. Okay. What I was looking for was actually, I was looking for... There is a mode to billboard these. Just trying to figure out where that was. Kind of shadows on. Level of detail bias. Not worried about that. No occlusion. Oh, I'll just instead of digging around for it, just there's a reason. There is somewhere in here a way to actually billboard it with a checkbox. I think I've shown it in one of my videos before. I just don't know exactly off the top of my head where it is. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, and there it is. But I don't have any shadows being cast. I got no spotlights. So let me just see if I can add a spotlight. Create it. And go there. Rotate it. Try something like that. Let's see how that looks. I didn't quite get it lined up. I'm not getting my lights in there, so anyway, that's I wanted to just kind of show you the but I don't think that's gonna work. I've probably got to go crank that energy up, crank up a little bit in, crank up the size. Let's just see if that makes a difference. Not really. I'd have to play around with that to get that working right. It's probably not even pointing here. It's probably off camera. So that being said, you get the idea. I wanted to show you how to get EZTREEs in, how to make them, and also how to make a level of detail from the same tree, from the same app, really easy. So you can imagine when you set your level of detail that if, say, the tree is, let's go in here. So if the tree, this sprite is, you got a tree way back here, and then you got a tree way close. So this tree way close, so your players weren't running around here. You're going to want this to be a 3D model, right? Whereas this one, the billboard mode makes it so that you don't see this edge. It always faces towards the player. But then this one is way off in the distance. Probably be even more back in the distance. Let's go sprite 3D, and let's just push it way back there. So it's that far away. Your player's right here running around this tree. These trees are 3D models, but then way back in the distance, you've just got a 2D image of it. That's how level of detail works. And if you make it of the same trees and a picture of it, they're going to look pretty close as they fade out. So anyway, that's pretty much just all I wanted to show you there. I'll just run that real quick, just so you can't really see it there. I gotta move them. Already seen. Bring them over that way. There, you can see that's way off in the distance. I moved them too far, of course. Yeah, that's better. So you got a 3D tree up front, and then you got a 2D billboard in the back, and then you just set the distance. So hey, if this is 200 units away, use this level of detail too. If it's right up close, use this level of detail. And the other thing you can do there too is in the tree, you could make 2 or 3 models of the tree and reduce down the pixel size, and you could have a in-between size or whatever, however you want a level of detail. But anyway, this video's gone on for long enough. I just kind of wanted to show you how to do that. Hopefully that helped you out. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Have an awesome day. See you in the next one.